Hi fellow dog fanciers, welcome back to a new video. This one is part 3 of the life of our new puppy Eris and her adventures. If you haven't watched the first two yet, I recommend you do so first because this one will make more sense. I suspect these series will raise questions, so if you have any, don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section. I will make sure to answer, and if we get a lot, I will make a separate video to address all of them, and that's how everyone will benefit from some additional details and some extra information. Last week I left off after her first day at home ended. The morning after, first thing I did was to open the door to the garden and let her out. I've said it before, small puppy, small bladder, so after she wakes up, first thing she has to do is go out to pee and poop. We didn't have the most pleasant spring this year due to a lot of rain, so that morning wasn't really suitable for playing outside, and instead we let her have some free time in the living room in the company of our two puppy-safe boys, Cooper and Brady. Cooper wasn't comfortable around her at the time yet, and he switched on avoidance mode. She always respected that and didn't bother him, and it was in everyone's favor that she isn't one of these puppies that go to every dog and demand attention from them, and then they have to learn the hard way that not everyone wants to be bothered by them or to interact with them. And because Cooper was no fun and Brady just wanted to rest, she decided to find some more exciting activities like murdering a squirrel. Then everyone had breakfast, and afterwards it was time for their morning nap. She still ate 3 times a day at a time. If you get a new puppy, make sure to keep them on the same food they were used to eating at their breeders or their previous home for a while, even if you don't agree with that choice of food. In our case, I had nothing against the food that Eris was eating. Even if you hate the food they've been on, make sure to keep them on it for some period of time or until they're fully adjusted in their new home. New food and the transition to such can cause stress for some dogs. The change to a completely new environment is stressful enough for a dog or for a puppy, and that's not the right time to make drastic changes to their diet as well, unless it's necessary for medical reasons. In the afternoon, the weather got better and it was time for her first walk, and also for her first time going to the park with Ruby and Ivy. And that's where she met our Whippets, best Whippet friends outside their own pack, Queen and Juby. So she met new Whippet and human friends. Don't wait too long before you start socializing. I would say as soon as your puppies have had all of their shots and it's safe for them to go outside, just take them and go. It can be a car ride, a walk to the city, a walk around the neighborhood, a trip to a dog-friendly cafe. It doesn't matter, just take them out as soon as possible. I use every walk to this day to teach her something new. Every walk, every time we go outside is an opportunity for me to work on something with her, and I never miss it. This one, I wanted to show her that I am not boring and that I carry treats. Whippet puppies don't have time for boring people and boring stuff. If you don't show them you're exciting enough and that you're worth their attention, they will find something more fun to focus on quicker than you'd realize. With young puppies, don't be boring. Make yourself exciting. Be loud, make funny noises, praise them with a lot of love and treats whenever you want to mark something good that they've done. So every time Eris did something I liked, I praise her with some delicious treats or with a toy. In this case, the stick is the fun toy. At the end, she was so happy to walk together with the adult whippets. She looked like a little child that was invited to the big kids' party. Once we got home, she slept for 3 hours straight, and after that, she slowly started to recharge and become her active self again with the help of a new toy she got as a gift from Juby's owners. Mind you, we never left her unsupervised. Puppies do stupid things. They're like little children and they're definitely not very reasonable. One time she was biting the gate and got her jaw stuck in it, and of course she panicked and started screaming. If we weren't there to react quickly, she could have injured herself. Biting the gate to see what will happen seems to be every single puppy's stupid idea, and every single one of our puppies has done it. Just don't leave them alone. Perhaps if they're truly sleeping very deep, you can get away with doing something real quick in the next room. But other than that, please don't leave them alone, because you will be surprised by the stupid ideas that are born in their little heads. I had taken a few days off from work, so we went to the park every day. The next day we had bad weather again. It was cold and windy, so she wore a sweater that was far from being her ideal size, but she wasn't bothered by it. And again, my plan was to make it a fun experience. Being a true Velcro whippet, surprise, surprise, sometimes she didn't like to be alone in her pen, so every once in a while she threw a tantrum, which was also known as screaming like she was tortured, and we always waited for her to calm down, be quiet for a few minutes before we gave her attention. Look, my little Velcro dog decided to pay us a visit, and now it's time to dig a hole to another continent. Haydi lagay. Bravo, bravo. Opening the crate, the gate of the pen, speaking to them, giving them attention is all rewarding and unwanted behavior. And the last thing I wanted was for her to learn that every time she demanded attention, someone would run to keep her company. Especially because we didn't know exactly how long we'd have to keep the puppy pen there. It all depended on her behavior and on how quickly our whippets would accept her and be safe around her. But to be honest with you guys, all in all, she is not a good example of a typical female whippet puppy, because she was and still is a golden child. An easy puppy. You have to say no to her only one time and she already knows what's right and wrong. We got very lucky with this one because from the start we were prepared for the typical hyper, naughty, how dare you say no to me type of child. Sometime during her first week, she met the vacuum cleaner, aka the monster of her nightmares, for the first time, and she was everything but impressed. I stayed with her, but I didn't encourage anything she did apart from calmly laying down and observing. She watched me, all the people around, and the whippets to see what they do with this noisy monster, and she saw nothing special. Everyone remained calm, and of course, I think that made her feel better. That same afternoon, we went to, you guessed it, we went to the park where she played with her new friends outside her own whippet family. That's Juby, and his human parents like to joke about him having a screw loose, but truth is he's a very good young boy. One of her favorite things to play with and chew on were random sticks. Every single stick she found was a potential snack. That's what every single one of our puppies have done, and if yours does it too, it's completely normal. I just make sure they don't swallow any pieces, or they don't swallow too many pieces, and that they mostly chew on softer ones. Eventually, all of them grow out of their passion for sticks. In the park, she was usually accompanied by Ruby and sometimes Ivy. Ruby remained distant from her for quite a long time. The only times when she would cut the distance was in the car, and it was still a good sign. But most of the time she avoided Eris and acted like she didn't exist, and we already knew that she would probably take the longest to warm up to the puppy. At home, she would often chill next to the puppy pen and watch, but mostly because she was interested in Eris's new toys and wanted to keep track of what she's doing, and not so much out of love. And late afternoons before dinner, it was always time for the little baby to have some alone playtime in the garden with her favorite previously murdered squirrel toy. Let's wrap it up here. We'll continue in the next one where I'll talk about whippets and whippet puppies off leash. So I will merge a bit of Eris's adventures with very commonly asked questions. So have a lovely weekend and fantastic week afterwards. Hug your whippets, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye bye.